So in order to set up the load bank to do real-time monitoring, the first thing that I've got to do is I've got to set my parameters on the load bank of what the test is going to run.
Okay.
So we know from preset one on the other load bank, we're going to modify this to 95 amp hours, 1 hour rate, 5-minute save time, constant current, one group, one string. Even though I'm running 1 hour, I'm going to set my test time to 2 hours so that doesn't stop my test. My discharge current was 94.7 amps. Test capacity, I'm going to put up at 150 amp hours. So again, it allows up to 150 amp hours to be discharged, and I'm making sure I shut down on group low voltage rather than time or amp hours.
Right.
We're testing 10 12 volt block batteries. Group low voltage is going to be 105.0. Low battery voltage using the modules would be 10.5. And because we're not using the wireless modules, my number of battery lows has to equal my battery sum.
Okay.
So we set that to 10. We hit apply. That saves that as preset number 1. In order to do live monitoring, my next step is I have to come to the software. I've got to have the RS-232 cable connected between load bank and USB port on the laptop. I've got to know what COM number that communicates to, because it communicates via serial port communications. So if you go start, find, and you look for device manager in settings, you come down to ports, COM and LPT. You can see right now I've got prolific USB serial COM port 6, COM 6.
Yep.
So this is communicating on COM port 6. The way you can check, disconnect it. It goes away.
Right.
So now if I look at that COM ports again, that COM 6 is going to be missing. So when I plug my USB back in, you hear it work, do its thing. COM 6. So I know I'm on COM port 6. So in the software, I click real-time monitoring. I click connect. Type a unit, SBS-8400. I'm on COM port 6. So I need to put that in there.
Okay.
Number of strings, 1,
Right.
not in parallel. My nominal capacity, 95 amp hours, right?
Yep.
My current, 94.5 amps, 94.7 amps. It won't take a decimal point, so I'm just going to put that in as the same 95 that I rounded off to. My hour rate is a 1 hour rate. My current clamp range is NA because I'm not using an external current clamp. Cell voltage is 12 volts. Number of batteries is 10. I can type in a battery model, a battery type, company name, battery ID. I can type in all that information, but I don't have to.
That's just for the notes for the
Just for
report.
the notes.
It's not going to affect the output of it.
Now here's where I select the ambient temperature of the battery where I'm going to start the test. If the battery is above 77 degrees, it's going to run at a higher capacity, and I have to temperature correct that capacity calculated down.
Okay.
If the battery is colder than 77 degrees, the battery is going to operate at a reduced capacity, and I have to temperature correct that capacity back up. So I select starting temperature. For this one, we're going to select 82 degrees for our ambient room temperature in here. The next thing I have to do is I have to hit save. I have to tell it what file name to save the data under.
Okay.
So we're going to call this test 1 540s. Well, actually, it'd be test 2 540s because we did 540s on that one already. Hit save. It's going to tell you if that file name already exists to give it a new name. Once I hit save, I'm going to hit connect. It's going to bring up 6 blank bar graphs. Why are they blank? Because this machine isn't running yet.
Okay.
So if I press start, I turn on F0, I verify my group voltage is where I expect my group voltage to be. Yes, it is. I press start, make sure the fans are running.
Yep.
Acknowledge the fans are running. Turn on switch F1. Hit OK. As soon as that unit starts sending data, the screens begin to populate in the real-time monitoring. Because I don't have individual monitoring voltages, I'm not going to see individual cells, but I'm going to see my overall group voltage, I'm going to see my overall discharge current, and I'm going to get my time stamps of my data every 6 seconds for the first 3 minutes, and then every 5 minutes that I set in the preset. And that's how you do real-time monitoring in conjunction with setting up and running a test on the 8400. You've got to set the software up to receive the data before you press the start button on the unit.
Okay.